Welcome back, everybody. We are back in Montreal for the 1917 season. This is Draft to Glory, Deadball Era style, at least for now. We're working our way through. Pretty soon, we're going to get to kind of the baseball boom area. We're going to see a few more home runs, but right now, we're still kind of at the tail end of the Deadball Era. If you saw the last episode, we had our draft. We had the first game of the season against the Cardinals, and now we're ready to take on the 1917 season. Thanks again for tuning in, and stay tuned for the question to try and win 5 standard packs for your perfect team account. That'll be coming up a little bit later. Okay, again, just to quickly recap, going with a 2-man rotation for now because we don't really have a third starter ready to play. And in the batting lineup, a couple rookies. We've got Mr. Ken Griffey Jr. making his debut, and also Frank Schugert is in the lineup. So here you see what we're running. Joe Garagiola as our starting catcher, at least for now. Let's go on and finish the month of April. Player development report is in, and again, I'll just kind of scroll through here quickly. You can kind of take a look at some of those players that you might be familiar with from recent drafts. Of course, Ed Walsh, who we took in the last draft. We got Whitey Lockman, who's projected to be pretty good. And then a few of our older players that are still plugging away. Joe Sewell, again, first captain of the franchise, a player that we drafted in our first kind of real authentic draft back in 1901. Second pick overall was Mr. Joe Sewell. And, he's still got pretty good ratings for a 35-year-old, almost 36 years old. So he's hanging in there. Unfortunately, his defense has really tailed off. Again, after a month, he's negative 2.4 at shortstop. So again, we're not really running a highly defensive team right now. Okay, let's look at the standings. After the month of April, the Montreal Expos are 11-9. I will take it. That is good. 11-9. We're not like under 500. So let's keep going. Let's keep the momentum going, and let's go to the end of May. One player development report for May, and that is Ken Griffey Jr. Looks like he has improved a little bit. They've given him a boost. His contact dropped a little bit, though. However, his current power rating has gone from 65 to 70, and now his overall is a 5-star player. Good, that's what we were hoping for. Of course, we didn't get a Willie Mays. Let's kind of check where Willie Mays is at right now. He was the first overall pick in the draft. Probably the player we would have taken if we had the first overall pick, selected by the New York Giants. He is a 5-star player as well. And let's see if it allows us to compare both players. Here we go. So just comparing Griffey and Willie Mays. You know what? Batting-wise, I'm kind of liking, well, against righties, Ken Griffey Jr. is definitely better. Against lefties, the edge probably slightly goes to Willie Mays. But profile's pretty similar for these two outfielders. Here's the defense. Of course, Willie Mays, great range, great defender. Hopefully Ken Griffey Jr. can build up to that. So at the end of May, we are currently 24-22, 5 games out of the Pirates. And again, still hanging in there. Scott Stratton looks like he's leading in a lot of the pitching categories. 2-man rotation. And rookie Frank Schugert, 3 home runs on the season so far. All right, time to go to the end of June. All right, again, happy Canada Day. Cheers. It is July 1st, 1917. The war raging on in Europe. And it was on this day. Here's your history fact of the episode. It was on this day that the Canadians were really starting to make an influence in terms of World War I and the Allies. The Battle of Passchendaele, Vimy Ridge, Canadian soldiers really starting to play a more active role. So again, it's kind of interesting playing these historical sims and thinking back to that time period and what was going on in the world. In our fictional world right here, the Montreal Expos are still above 500. I am ecstatic. I had a good feeling about this year. I don't know if we're good enough to make the World Series, but we are only 4 games out on a 4-game winning streak. So bringing in some new blood, bringing in the rookies, definitely has made a difference. Halladay, not as good of a pitcher as Stratton in terms of wins. However, his ERA is fairly close. And again, in the bullpen, Gene Wright, long relief, avoid high leverage, mop up. He's got pitched 70 innings and pitched them really well. So apparently we've had a lot of situations with a lot of mop up or a long relief. And in terms of our hitters, let's take a look at the kind of the standings, the stats here. 260 for Joe Sewell, 275 for Paul Molitor, and of course our rookies, 236 only for Ken Griffey Jr. And I'm wondering if maybe I rushed him a little bit. He's 21 years old, or is it just going to take him a little while to settle in? His defense isn't really costing us too much, less than a -2 zone rating. But yeah, I think if we go out of the playoff chase, I think we're going to demote him back to AAA and just again, take our time with him. If we're in a playoff position, then of course we'll keep him up. And the other rookie we have is Frank Shugart, having a better season than Ken Griffey, 290, and early candidate, I think, for Rookie of the Year. And in terms of his fielding stats, he's a positive zone rating. Where does the AI have him playing? They have him playing leadoff at shortstop. And Joe Sewell is playing first base now. All right, so he's getting some first base play, which probably is his best defensive position right now. Yeah, he's a positive zone rating at first base, so I don't mind that at all. All right, we'll go one more month, and then we'll take a deeper look at the overall standings and statistics. Let's go to the beginning of August. Again, you can see our player development update with a lot of our older players. Roy Halladay is 34 years old already. Wow. I never would have guessed that. Time just keeps flying by. Whitey Lockman looks like he is ready to come up, hitting 376 in AAA. I don't want to stunt his growth by keeping him there too long. His ratings dropped a little bit from a 4.5 to a 4-star player. Speed improved a little bit. And other than that, no big movers and shakers. Where are the Expos? Well, we gained a little bit. 3.5 games out from the New York Giants. So it looks like it's going to be us, the Pirates, and the Giants. And over in the AL, the Browns, Tigers, probably the top 2 teams competing for the World Series. Let's take a look at the overall stats in the entire league. We've got Dick Groat leading in average at 353. We've got, who is this? Alex, Andrew Jones, and Juan Gonzalez, our home run leaders at 7. And Ken Griffey Jr., although his average is improving to 251, he is 5th in RBIs at 49. So maybe we don't demote him. He seems to be performing. Any other players here? Frank Shugart, 3rd in the league in hits. Nice to see. Also 4th in runs and 4th in stolen bases. So Frank Shugart, with that high speed stealing and base running, and we've kind of cranked up his running profile. So maybe even a little bit more. Let's see if we can get him the stolen base lead in the league. All right, in terms of some of the more shorter stats, Stratton, Halladay lead in wins. Stratton has the most strikeouts. We are 2nd in runs against. Let's take a look at our overall here. Again, batting categories, top notch. We are the best. Look at this. All number 1s here except for batting WAR. And pitching, we're number 1. We're number 1 in FIP. And defense, we're 3rd. I don't know how, but somehow defensively we're 3rd. Let's go take a look at the sortable stats here and the team statistics. So zone rating, Montreal, remember how we used to be at the bottom? Well, we currently have a positive, barely, but a positive zone rating. Yeah, I will take that all day. If we take a look at our batting stats, again, in terms of slugging, we are about middle of the pack. On base percentage, 4th in the league. Home runs, 4th in the league. Runs scored, 4th in the league. So yeah, we're definitely a top 5 team offensively, and it looks like defensively. How about in terms of our pitching stats? In terms of the ERA, Montreal's number 1 lowest ERA in the league. Strikeout wise, we are about middle of the pack. Home runs, in terms of the least home runs given up, again, about the middle of the pack. It's funny how the least home runs given up is 11 and the most is 19. Not a very big spread at all. Runs scored, we have only allowed 288. So again, really happy with how our team is performing right now. 3.5 games out. This is the key month, August. If we can stay within 5 games, we got a legit chance. And if we are within 5 games, maybe we're going to tinker with the lineup a little bit, see if we can squeeze out a few more wins. Let's go on to September. All right, we are on September 1st, and early in August, we were only a game and a half out. As I was watching it sim, things have kind of dropped off since that. However, we are still only 5 games out of the lead with the New York Giants. And over in the other conference, looks like the St. Louis Browns has it pretty well in hand. So the question is, now that we're on September 1st, can we squeeze out a few more wins? In terms of playing the New York Giants, we have 3 at the end of the month, and that's it. So if we're within 3 games at the end of the month before we play the Giants, we're definitely going to slow play those ones. But do we bring some people up? I think we do. It's the September call-ups. Our roster is now expanded. So I think we bring up another catcher, Montero, and we're going to bring up rookie Whitey Lockman. He's hitting .371. I think we're going to give him a chance in the major leagues. So let's go and play around a little bit with our lineup. Let's look at the ratings. And of course, we want to look at, contact. Whitey Lockman second against lefties and the best against righties. So here's a guy that has not great speed. Maybe we don't want him number 1, but maybe as our number 2 hitter in place of Paul Molitor, who currently is hitting .271. So maybe we really put the pressure on Whitey Lockman. He can play a lot of different positions. Probably want him in right field. Currently, Nick Markakis is in right field, hitting .262. He can play left field. So that means Bo Jackson would have to come out of the lineup, and he's hitting .284. So we're in a tough situation here. I think what we're going to do is move some players around here because they can play other positions. We're going to bring in Lockman for Majeski. And then we're going to put Lockman in left field, and we're going to put Bo Jackson at first and Joe Sewell at third. I think that's probably the easiest thing. And at first. Then we're going to move up Lockman into the number 2 slot. Move Griffey into 3. Same thing over here. And we'll see how this month goes, adding a couple rookies in there. Griffey, you're going to go 3. And okay, I like that. Pitching wise, I think we're pretty good. And again, in terms of our catchers, we brought up just, a bench guy, wherever he is here. Where is our third catcher? He should be here somewhere. Yes, Montero. All right, we're going to sim ahead to the middle of September. We're not going to sim the whole month yet. Let's go to the 16th and see where the Expos are at. Okay, we are on September 16th. You can see our record, 81-61. We're now 3.5 games back, second in our conference. Things are getting exciting, folks. 3.5 games back, and we have that 3-game series coming up at the end of the month against the Giants. In terms of the batting and the players that we put in, let's just take a quick look. If Montero has any playing action yet, 1 at bat, 1 hit, he's hitting 1,000. And in terms of Whitey, he's hitting 279. Good job by the rookie coming in. Okay, let's go one more week here. Sim ahead to 1 week and find out where we're at come September 24th. We got to stay within 3 games. Long as we're within 3, we are now within 2.5. You see the standings there. The Montreal Expos, just like the Detroit Tigers, are within striking distance. All right. Again, our pitchers are, pretty equal. Scott Stratton, for some reason, is getting a lot more innings pitched, so I'm going to move him to number 1 in the order. And let's take a look at how Whitey has done. He's got the flame by him. He's on a streak, 344 for Whitey Lockman. First pick or 5th pick in the first round back in 1914. Let's go, Whitey Lockman. What a contribution you've made to the team so far. And hey, we don't want to forget about Montero. How are you doing? Still just a 1 at bat, but at least it's a hit. You got your first major league hit in this September call-up. All right, if we go and look at the schedule now, we have 3 games against Brooklyn, and right now Brooklyn is under 500, and then 3 games against the Giants. All right, game number 1 against Brooklyn, we need 2 of 3. That is not going to help. Game number 2 against Brooklyn is a big 9-2 victory. And because of the Giants losing 2 in a row, we are now 1.5 games back. Giants have 3 games in hand, though. Wow. So even after we play them, they're going to have a few more games. Okay. Big game here. 3rd game against Brooklyn before we play New York at home. And we take it 3-0. Fabulous. Fantastic. Who was the pitcher there? George Wright. Gene Wright. That's why he's got so many innings, because they're bringing him in as the emergency starter. And he's got the highest stamina of all of our relievers. So it makes sense. I'm not unhappy with that. We've got Stratton at 80. We've got Halliday at 45. So it looks like Halliday's not recovering enough. That's why they're going back and forth between Gene Wright, who is 6-10, and Roy Halladay. Do we have another pitcher we can bring in here? We've got this guy, Ken Penner. We took you in the 3rd round of a draft. All right, Ken Penner, I'm going to bring you in, I think. Maybe not. We're going to go with what we have. Whitey Lockman hitting 364 now. I hope he's still eligible for Rookie of the Year next year, because he looks like a breakout player. Looks like he could be potentially our best player we've ever had, the way that he started. But now we go to New York. And look at this. 1.5 game back of the Giants. What a time to play New York in the season. Okay, the first game, I think we're just going to quick sim here. See how we do. And it is going to be a 3-2 win. And just like that, the Montreal Expos are in first place. First time all year we've been in first place. Give me a high five. Way to go. Oh, baby. Oh, first place for the Expos. Woo. Okay, here's a good time for a trivia question. This is what I want you guys to do. We just reached first place. We're going to go and we're going to take a look at that game log. 3-2 victory. Here's your trivia question. Name any one of the starting 9 in the Montreal Expos lineup in the game that we took over first place. Any one of these players right here is going to get you an entry into the contest. Remember, don't duplicate a name. If it's on the comments already, pick a different name. Look at that. I can't believe it. We are in first place. Oh. All right, we do have a game off now. We do have a day off, so we'll sim ahead. And we've got 2 more games in the season against the Giants, and then they have, I think, 3 more. They play 3 against Philadelphia, who is below 500. Okay, next game against the Giants. We win, and we are the favorite. We lose, and it's going to be close. We're going to need some help. Score is, and we win this one. It flipped over to the Giants schedule. Kind of scared me a little bit, but the Expos are going to win this one 5-4 with 3 in the 7th. Roy Halladay comes in for the win, pitching 8 strong innings. Joe Garagiola, 2 for 3, including a home run. Guys, we are 1.5 games up. Over in the other division, Detroit has been eliminated. The St. Louis Browns will be the AL representative. Here you see their lineup. But we're not worrying about the Browns right now. We're worrying about the Expos. 1 more game against the Giants. And this time, we're going to go in and manage a little bit. Because we win this and we're 2.5 up. And our magic number is 1. Yeah, 1 if we can win this. In fact, we might even clinch if we win this. All right, let's start the game. We've got Scott Stratton, our ace, on the mound. We're going to go inning by inning, at least for the first 5 innings. And then we might do some micromanaging in-game. In Montreal, after 1, it is a 1-1 game. Montreal Expos would score to tie it up with a error. Putting Whitey Lockman on, he is going to move to second on a pass ball and then score on a single by Bo Jackson. 1-1. We head to the 3rd. Giants take a 2-1 lead. As we go to 4, it is still 2-1. 5th inning. Each team scores a run. In the 4th, Expos are going to get a run off a single by Molitor, a hit by pitch to Marquesis. A single is going to drive home Molitor, and then we can't get another run. 3 flyouts in a row with a runner in scoring position. That could hurt. Let's go to the 6th. 3-2. Bottom of 6. 3-2. We head to the 7th. Expos can't score. All right, let's go to the bottom of 7. And 1 run behind in the most important game, I want to say, in our franchise. Although it's going to come close because we had some key games back in our World Series win. Here we are, Joe Garagiola up against Bud, and he strikes out. It's going to bring up Scott Stratton, who is a pretty good hitter. So he's a good two-way guy. We've seen that in previous years, but this is going to be a fly out to third. Top of the order. So we're going to have pretty much one more time through the rotation here. Frank Shugart, rookie, 286 average, 6 home runs on the season. Let's see if he can tie it up. Nope, but he does take a ball low, and he gets on base. 1 on, 2 out, and that's going to bring up the rookie sensation, Whitey Lockman. 337 average, and he drives that one right to the pitcher, and that's going to do it. So we're going to head to the bottom of the 8th. New York does not score. Ken Griffey Jr. at the plate, 75 RBIs and 6 home runs. Griffey drives that one past the first baseman, and we have the leadoff runner on base. Okay, now I got to make some decisions. Bo Jackson, good hitter. Power hitter, contact hitter. I don't want him bunting. Ken Griffey Jr.'s got speed. The question is, do we try to steal or hit and run? Tommy Clark, he's got an okay arm. What do you think? I need your guys' help. What do we do? Hit and run. I don't think we can afford to try and steal. So let's go with the hit and run. Just make contact, Bo, and not that kind of contact. Sky high in the air. That's going to be taken for the first out. All right, Paul Molitor. I think we're gonna run Ken Griffey. Let's go for the steal. Here comes the pitch. It is low. Ken Griffey takes off, and he is safe. Okay. So it's just like the sacrifice worked. Hit and run worked in that first at bat. So Paul Molitor got the little fire symbol next to him. He is hot. He's on a hot streak, hitting 287. Runner can score on a deep base hit. Let's see. Here comes the pitch. It is low and outside, and we have runners on first and second for Nick Markakis. Good contact, pretty good power. I don't think we want to... What kind of hitter is he? He's a ground ball hitter, so that scares me. Double play possibility. So we're going to do a little bit of hit and run with Nick. And this one is going to go out of play. Okay, good. 1 strike count, hit and run one more time. That one is driven to first base. It will advance the runners, though. And Markakis is out. That might have been a double play. Probably a pretty good choice to hit and run. All right, Joe Sewell at the plate. And again, we're going to take a few pitches, see if anything strange happens here. Last time he was up, he hit into a double play. So it's a 1-1 count. And it goes to 2-1. Catcher due up next. So we've got 2-2. Joe Sewell. Come on. We need you, buddy. We need you, Joe. First captain of the team. Our first real draft pick. Now is your time to shine as a vet. And that one's driven to short, and it is misplayed. It is an error on either the shortstop or the first baseman. I can't believe it. The Montreal season continues. What did they record that as? That should have been a surefire out. It was hit pretty sharply. Reached on an error on the ground ball. Error 6. So give that error to Edgar Renteria. Edgar Renteria, 30 errors this year at shortstop. Edgar. Got a pretty good zone rating, but that's a lot of errors. Okay, we've tied it up. Joe Garagiola at the plate. Again, we're going to take some pitches, just see if we can get Scott Stratton up, who's probably a better hitter than Garagiola. We got a 2-0 count. Pass ball, wild pitch is going to give us the lead. It is 3-0. Red light, Joe. Red light. And he takes the walk. All right, Scott Stratton hitting 309. That's why we're not going to pinch hit for him. You look at his batting stats, 309 with a home run, 23 RBIs, 19 walks, 80 hits. Yeah, he's probably the best we have. But we're going to take some pitches. Let's see if we can walk home a run. Because Bud Tinning has been in the game a long time. You can see his little slider here at the bottom. It's kind of getting into that deep yellow now. All right, 1-1 count. Count goes to 2-1. Come on, we need a walk. It is low and outside. 3-1 to Scott Stratton. Here's to you, Scott. Cheers. You got the red light, buddy. Don't swing. Red light. And now we're in the game where we can't take a pitch. That's one thing OOTP doesn't allow you to do, is take a pitch on a 3-2 count. So here we go. 2 outs. I guess we just swing away. See what happens. Maybe we'll get the walk. It is low. Oh, and he swings at it. On a low pitch, normally he wouldn't have swung at that. Bad Scott Stratton. Okay, we're going to keep him in the game. We're in the top of the 9th inning here. Pressure is on. Expos have a 1.5 game lead. If we lose, we still have the lead, but it's out of our control because this is our last game of the season. All right, second out. Good. Alan Wiggins, top of the order. And he drives that one to first, fires it over to Stratton, who's covering, and the Expos head to the bottom of the 9th with their top of the order up. Let's make this quick, guys. Not a 15-inning game. Oh, Shugart drives that one into the gap. That's going to go to the wall, and rookie Frank Shugart stands up on second. Whitey Lockman at the plate. Could he have a walk-off hero situation? Here's the pitch. That one is driven and right to the shortstop. All right, we're not going to do anything crazy here. We're going to hope for the base hit by one of the next 2 batters. Ken Griffey intentionally walked, so runners on first and second for Bo Jackson. 2 speedy guys on the base pass, so we are going to hit and run here just to avoid a double play. Here comes the pitch. That is low and fouled off, so we'll try one more hit and run here. And that one is driven foul. Okay, now we're just going to swing away. Hope that there's no double play, and he strikes out. Okay, good call, coach. Good call. Paul Molitor at the plates. He has a hot streak going right here. No other player I'd want up at bat right now. Paul Molitor, 287, veteran on the team. Let's do it, Paul. What can you do? What can you show me? That one's driven to third, and the third baseman boots it. It is an error on the third baseman, Juan Beniquez. Bases are loaded for Nick Marquesis. We are going to take some pitches. The pitcher might be rattled after a couple errors. 1 ball, make that 2 balls. Bud Tinning goes to 2-1 count just on the outside corner. Next pitch is a strike, low, but in the strike zone, 2-2. Nick Marquesis, game on the line. Here comes the pitch, and he lines that one up the middle, and the Montreal Expos walk off with a come-from-behind 4-3 victory in their last game of the season. The players are celebrating. Here comes the bench players over. It is party time in Montreal tonight. Lock up. Lock up the liquor because people are going to be on the streets tonight partying in Montreal. Woo. Scott Stratton with his 48th win of the season and getting player of the game. Amazing. Amazing. Okay, here is the statistics. Montreal has clinched. Look at that little E by the Giants. I don't know how we've clinched because the Giants still have 3 games, I think, or do they only have 2? New York Giants have 3 games. I'm not sure why it's showing us as clinching because, and I'm not, it looks like they have 4, they have 3 games in hand. I don't know why it says 2.5 back. 4. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's not an even number right there. That is strange. If you know why, put it in the chat. Help me out. The Giants have lost 6 in a row. The Expos have won 5 in a row. And I think we've clinched, but we've got to see how the Giants do here. That is weird. Should be a 3-game difference, not 2.5. All right, maybe we had to finish off the day. So let's go back and look at the standings here. Yeah, still showing 2.5 and clinching. Let's go to the New York Giants schedule. 3 games left. Don't know why. Montreal, is there an extra game I'm missing here? No. All right, well, let's see how this plays out. If they win the first 2, I'm going to get a little nervous. Game 1 against Philadelphia for the Giants is, as the game is thinking, a loss. All right, that will officially do it. They win game 2 and they will lose the 3rd game of the series. So here are your final standings. We should be on the end of the regular season. Gonna go, let me just double check here. Yeah, we should sim 1 more day. All right, now it's showing 3 games, not showing that half game. I guess we had the tiebreaker because if they would have won, well, wait a minute. It's weird. I don't know because they did win 1 of 3, but it's showing them 3 games back. I'll take it. Whatever it is, I will take it. So the Montreal Expos are going to face the 89-65 St. Louis Browns in the World Series, their 2nd World Series appearance. It has been a while since we've been there. In fact, 1908 was the last time we made a World Series appearance. That's going to do it for this episode. We will be back next episode with the playoffs, with the first player draft, with the Hall of Fame voting, all coming up next time, guys. Thank you so much. Please leave a like. It really helps promote the channel. Enter the contest. We'll see you next episode. Woo. Expos. What a comeback. What a story. 1917. Go team. See you next episode.